And
So
we have,
let's go to the prime minister. The prime
yeah,
minister
let's do
issue that
that.
we want to address before we leave tonight. So
Yeah, that really is
yeah,
important.
address that first.
Okay, so this is it. It is very much against anything that stands for democracy, because he when he was prime minister and he did a amendment to the party constitution, he introduced the one man one vote, and also the power of veto, which the prime minister, which the political leader enjoyed. I took that away. And he also said at the same time, if you are not in the favor of the political leader, you have a very hard road to climb, very hard hill to climb. So what is wrong with what he has done? What he has done is foisted Mr. Young on the population of Trinidad and Tobago. This is not on the party of the PNM, because he's not making him a minister in the government. He's making him the prime minister of the country of Trinidad and Tobago. And what is wrong with that? The political leader position does not come up for re-election until 2026. But under the Constitution, I think it's clause 19, you can call a special convention. And what the prime minister should have done is call a special convention, step down as political leader, and let the party membership of 130,000 decide who they want as their party leader. Because whoever is your party leader is going to generally be your prime minister. Let the party decide who they want to take them into an election and eventually become prime minister. But he did not do that. What he did, he retained the position of party leader, because as the party leader, he very well knows, I was in government, I understand this much, that if you don't want, first of all, if he had done that, I'm pretty certain that Stuart Young would not have been chosen. I'm pretty certain. And I'm pretty certain the prime minister knew that. And that's why he went around a very undemocratic way, a very, what would I call it? It's not only undemocratic, a dictatorial way to force on the country his choice, and he must know why. He wants somebody who will follow his lead and do what he wants. And you know he did a bad job. You know what people think of him. We know that people feel that he was at the beck and call of a few percent in this country, and the rest went to suffer. He said nothing wrong with being rich. That's what he said. So he stayed on as party leader. And why did he stay on as party leader? Because he wants to choose, have the final say, and the chairman is Stuart Young, and the secretary's Cummins. He wants to choose who is going up for the different constituencies as political leader. But what he should have done, call a special convention and let the people of the party decide who they wanted to be the leader. And it wasn't going to be Stuart Young. If he wanted democracy, that is what he would have done. So that's the first thing he did wrong. Next thing that he did, what was wrong, taking that picture as if everybody was in support of Stuart Young. And then you hear, when they have the general council meeting, you have people like Robert LeHunt and Jennifer Batiste saying that this is not what is it? You a monarchy. This is not a monarchy. You don't anoint anybody. This is a democracy. You cannot choose who you want. So then he was forced to go to the general council to ratify the decision that he said that the ministers had agreed to, the members of parliament. And when you heard that what came out, the bacchanal you heard that came out of there, I've heard it from at least 3 or 4 people how he got on bad. And they said, and first of all, they wanted to, and they reported this, and I think it was Anna Ramdas. I hope I didn't say the wrong person. They wanted you to have a show of hands. They said, no, secret. And it said 9 against and 11 for. But I've heard that is not even correct. I heard that is not even correct, and 1 abstention. So the fact is, it was not a unanimous decision for him to become the political leader. That is for sure. So why is everybody staying quiet? Everybody's staying quiet because one thing about Rowley, he's an astute politician, a terrible leader, but an astute politician. After 30 years, you better be. So what he's doing is, by staying as the political leader, he's shutting up any kind of dissent. Because if people say or talk and say they don't want Stuart Young, he would then make sure that person does not run in a constituency. He probably cannot do that with Colin Imbert. He wouldn't dare do that with him for whatever reason, I know. He might not do that with Penny because he might lose the election with that. And he couldn't do that with Cummins. So that's 3 people he wouldn't take that risk with. But the rest of them, he put in people there because he still has not called the election bell. So even though he's going to resign as prime minister on March the 16th or whatever date it is, he will still be a member of parliament and continue in that position, although somebody else is running in that constituency, until the elections are ended and we know what the results are. So what he has done, when you see nobody saying it, I don't know what's happening, but when you see nobody saying anything, don't take that to mean anything, because what it means is that they very well know that the section 76A1 of our constitution, not the constitution of the PNM, the constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, says where an occasion arises that there is a vacancy in the position of prime minister, the president shall appoint as prime minister the leader in the house that has the support of the majority of the house. That is what 1A says. Martin Daly has written a whole column on that. And then the next week, he wrote a piece of it, sending a cautionary note to the president. And you know what he told her? He said, please do not find yourself in the position of Paula Mae Weeks, when she left her office, not in a way that she should have wanted to, when that whole debacle with the position of the police commissioner taking back the list, and then you hear it was the prime minister in the room. So she had no authority under section 123 of the 2006 amendment. Once it was handed to her, she was to prepare the notification for parliament. She had already said she's a creature of statute and must operate within the 4 wards. So once that list, the merit list, was handed to her, she could not have it immediately withdrawn, whatever that means. She couldn't hand it back, right? So he said, don't get yourself in that, He said, make sure that when you get a letter to say they support Stuart Young to be the leader of the house, that there's no post-dated, undated, predated kind of letter, Don't destroy your reputation, your legacy like that. So what I am saying, why is the prime minister and still call the shots now? Because he has not called the elections, so therefore he's still the a minister MP, and he's still the political leader. So he still can say, hey, you don't want Stuart Young? Well, you're not going in any constituency, so you're not going to be in the house. Because if you were to vote against Stuart, I'm not going to put you there. So, but after the elections is over, he will, unless he goes and does Eric Williams and say, you know what, I changed my mind. I think I want to be an MP still. But he ain't going to be prime minister again, because I'm sure the people will not vote for him. You notice anybody celebrate him leaving? Nobody celebrates. You're not hearing a word. You should have big thing. Please, prime minister, don't go. We want you. Nobody you're hearing that from. It's complete silence. So what he's concerned about, what he should be concerned about, is after the elections, when the in the event that the PNM has a majority, which would probably be a very slim majority, because you don't even know what Tobago will do, but still they may win still. It is only after he resigns as MP, only when he resigns as MP, that at that point in time, and the elections has been ended and you declared which party won, it is only then that the vacancy will arise, and it's only after that that people could sign a letter saying who they want. And so that's why Martin Daly warned the president, do not get yourself in anything signing a post-dated, undated letter. So at that point in time, what control will he have? He's not MP, he's not prime minister, and at that point in time, if 3 of them, based on the election, if 3 of them say we do not support Young, what can you do? And what can you do? And I know some of them not going to sit down there and just shut up, because Rowley will no longer have any power over them and not have any more power over them. And they will say that they were coerced into doing that, because if they did not do that, they would not have been chosen to be an MP. And he had held that over their head, and that's why he did not resign as political leader. He's so undemocratic, he's so unfair, and he's so selfish does not care one thing about the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It's a little percent of people that he's been serving, as far as people can see, because I don't see the rank and file who support him. They still down at the bottom of the barrel. And those who came here and others who came here, they're the ones, money can't done. They can't have enough house, can't have enough car, can't have enough anything. They have generational upon generational wealth. How you can feel good that that is what you did in 10 years?